When you fall behind on the mortgage payments on your home, it can feel like you're drowning in debt. Even if you're able to make a monthly payment, catching up on the past due balance, it can be very overwhelming. However, there are a few options that can actually help you avoid foreclosure and maybe even keep the house even if you're seriously behind on your payments. Now, there's a lot of properties in Philadelphia and the surrounding areas that have been lost due to foreclosure. But in this video, I'm going to tell you guys 5 ways to avoid it. What's up, you guys? My name is Lillian and if you're new to this YouTube channel, welcome. Every week I jump on here to talk about different ways to help you sell your house in Philadelphia and the surrounding areas as easy and conveniently as possible. Whether you want to sell to an investor like me, list with an agent, which I can also help you do, or simply just sell your house by yourself, you'll learn everything you need to know. All I ask is that you simply like the video, hit the subscribe button if you haven't done so already, and hit the notification bell so you get notified when I drop the next video. So, as I said, we're going to talk about 5 things that you can do to help avoid foreclosure. Now, the first thing we're going to discuss is bankruptcy. This is usually the tool of last resort. If you're being crushed by a lot of debt, bankruptcy could be a good way to negotiate with a lot of your lenders at one time. Now, it's a lot of work and it won't help you avoid your mortgage, but you may want to consider it. Now, different lenders will treat your circumstances in unique ways. There are 2 specific types of bankruptcy that you should know about: Chapter 7 bankruptcy and Chapter 13 bankruptcy. Now, when you file for Chapter 7 bankruptcy, the court places an automatic temporary stay on your current debts. Essentially, this prevents creditors from collecting payments, garnishing wages, foreclosing on your home, repossessing your property, and even turning off your utilities. So it helps in a couple ways. Now, in this situation, your assets become part of the bankruptcy estate. The automatic stay provides the trustee time to sell or liquidate the assets that would have been otherwise foreclosed on. Now, if the trustee sells the assets for enough money, you may be entitled to a portion of the proceeds. Now, when you file for Chapter 13 bankruptcy, you have 3 to 5 years to resolve your debts by applying your disposable income. This option helps you to eliminate your unsecured debts while catching up on missed mortgage payments. Chapter 13 bankruptcy also allows you to avoid foreclosure and actually remain in the house. However, you must take into consideration that you will be required to spend years living under the supervision of a court-appointed trustee who will collect and allocate your payments. Now, this automatic stay basically allows you additional time to deal with the pending foreclosure. Now, the second thing we're going to talk about is to reaffirm. So basically, this can be a good card to play, but it may come with some unforeseen penalties. Basically, reaffirming the loan is an additional commitment to pay. So it's a voluntary agreement a debtor makes with a lender to pay some or all of the debt that is owed regardless of going through the bankruptcy proceedings. A borrower typically maintains possession of the asset as a form of collateral as long as they can fully repay the amount owed on the loan. However, borrowers who are only looking to absolve themselves of their debts and are not likely to make regular payments have no reason to reaffirm a loan. Reaffirmation makes a borrower liable for the debt and is arranged through a legal process with the courts for the borrower to protect themselves along with their assets. Now, the third thing that we're going to talk about in regards to avoiding foreclosure is the Making Home Affordable program. So if your mortgage qualifies, you might be able to participate in the MHA, Making Home Affordable program, which is a part of the Troubled Asset Release program, which was the federal government's response to the subprime mortgage crisis that occurred in 2008. We all know what happened back then, right? So the main objective of MHA was to help eligible homeowners by lowering their monthly mortgage payments to something that was more manageable for them. Now, any loans backed by Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac must be considered for the MHA and other lenders that choose to participate in MHA. With the MHA program, your payments and or interest rates might be lowered, even the principal balance if your home is worth less than what you owe. MHA is able to help homeowners avoid foreclosure by allowing them to modify or refinance their mortgages, get temporary forbearance if they are unemployed, or completely transition out of your home through a short sale or a deed in lieu of foreclosure. And if you guys don't already know, we deal with foreclosures all the time. So we understand the process and we're definitely able and willing to help you out as well. And with that being said, if you haven't checked out my video on how to deal with a short sale or foreclosure, definitely check that out. I'll link it above and below so you guys can get more information with that. Also, it's important to note that the MHA is a government program, so you have to be prepared to deal with a lot of paperwork. It's not free money, you have to work for it because they're gonna require to see every piece of documentation that can prove that you are eligible for the program. So definitely be prepared for all that. Now, the fourth thing you can do to avoid foreclosure is to actually negotiate with your bank. Now, lots of lenders routinely offer some level of assistance. You have to work at it, and you might be able to get your interest rate reduced or at least a temporary reduction in your payment. Most of the time, lenders will steer you to refinance your loan, but by the time you're a few payments behind, you probably don't qualify for a reduction in interest rate. So you have to work really hard to negotiate with the bank. Usually it takes a lot of calls and the patience of a saint to get through the bureaucracy and the politics of dealing with the bank. Now, never act rude. Ask for help from everyone you speak with, but don't sound desperate. Just explain your situation, offer supporting documents, and reassure the bank you want to live in your home for the long term. Sometimes they'll be willing to add a few months of payments back onto the primary balance of your loan. It's all dollars and cents to them, so you have to remind them that you need their help to give them a lot more money in the long run. If they have to sell your house at a foreclosure auction, they'll actually take a huge loss, which is what banks really don't want. And again, make sure you guys check out my video on the short sale and the foreclosure process down below so you can get a better understanding of that. So make sure you do all that you can when it comes to negotiating with the bank, because remember, they really don't want the house. So the fifth thing that we're going to talk about as a way to avoid foreclosure is to borrow money from a private investor or sell to a private investor. Now, if you're behind on payments and you need to sell fast, we can definitely help. In certain circumstances, we may even be able to help you stay in your home. We work with homeowners in Philadelphia and the surrounding areas all the time to find solutions to their foreclosure problems. Now, the best way to think about this is to think of us as your real estate doctors. We'll analyze your situation based on the information you provide us, and then we'll provide you with the best solutions and let you know how exactly that we can help. So if you're interested, please give us a call. I'll put the number on the screen and down below, or just fill out the form on our website to get started. And we will do our best to help you avoid the headache of foreclosure so you can move on with your life stress-free. So there you have it, guys. I hope this video was helpful. If it was, please like the video, and as always, subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so you don't miss when I drop the next video.